Hey English 112, Miss Brewer here for your kind of weekly lecture. Just going to talk about a couple of things this week. Hopefully you are in the throes of reading Othello, and I hope you're enjoying it. I know the language is difficult, but I have some tips for that in this lecture, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Just want to talk a smidge about the play. From Act 1, you guys did your discussion forums, which I have not started grading yet because they're not due yet. But I really want to talk about the character of Iago because I think he is one of my favorite characters in Shakespeare. And one of the things about Shakespeare is that his writing was not original. I mean, he got his ideas from other stories. From history, those types of things. It's not that he didn't have original plot lines. But what he did have was this beautiful language and this ability to create these like really dynamic characters. And Iago is really interesting because he has this capacity to hate Othello, and you don't really understand why. I mean, yeah, he seems a little racist. Probably not as racist as Rodrigo and Brabantio, but a little racist. But everything he does is almost sociopathic. Like he's just enjoying ruining this man. And that is so fascinating because no one really understands why. So he has a little bit of a reason, I guess, because he was overlooked for a promotion, but I mean, really, he's kind of just an evil dude with no reason for being evil. Evil dudes seem to fascinate us as humans. They have those new Ted Bundy tapes out. Everyone's super interested in them and why people do what they do. So when we look for motive, when we look for objective in characters, we can find it in most of the characters in the play, but Iago's kind of weird, and he's kind of this, just mean guy, which makes him interesting and fascinating, and a character that you want to look into as to why they do what they do. So, the question is he really evil? I mean, there's no motive, so why is he so hateful? Why is he so mean? Is there such a thing as just pure evil? I mean, he's married, he has a wife. He doesn't seem to have much of a relationship with her, but nonetheless, he does have one. So, that conversation, do you agree that he is just super evil for no reason? Or do you think that being passed over for that promotion is reason enough? And one of the things when you do your comparative essay and you'll be able to look at characterization and you're looking at the way that these characters are portrayed in a modern sense, you can kind of focus on Iago if you choose to. And does the film version that we're going to watch portray Iago the same way that Shakespeare did, or differently? So that's one area of focus for your whole literary analysis paper if you choose. Or all the characters in general, or the plot line, or themes, those types of things. So we'll look at that much later. But one note about discussion boards, which hopefully you guys are getting, is that your grades out of 30 points. You get 10 points for your initial response. You get 10 points for a reply to a peer, and 10 points for a second reply to a peer. So that's how that works. Okay, let's get into what's going on this week. So at this point, you should have read Act 2 and submitted journals for Act 2 Sunday night. And now we're going to get into Act 3. Act 3 is your climax. With every Shakespearean play, the climax generally happens in Act 3. So there's going to be a lot of drama, a lot of action, a lot of things happening here. You'll have two things to do again this week, just like you did last week. So your Act 2 discussion forum, which you should probably be starting here because you've already read Act 2. So you get your initial post in, then go ahead and start reading Act 3, and then get your replies in, right? And then you'll have your journal for Act 3, which is due by Sunday, okay? So we kind of continue this throughout. just so you're aware, we're going to finish reading the play next week. So you'll read Acts 4 and 5 next week. And then we kind of get into a discussion forum, and you get to watch the movie version that we're going to be using for our literary analysis paper, and I'll talk about the literary analysis paper and stuff next week. So really that's it. That's all you guys are working on, is reading the play. And as you read, actively read the play. Take notes, jot things down that stand out to you, lines that characters say, things of that nature. If you're really struggling with the language, you can always use No Fear Shakespeare, which is a website. It's got the play on it. And what I like about No Fear Shakespeare is it has, on one side, it's got Shakespeare's language, and on the other side it has a translation. So that should help with a better understanding of what's going on in the play. But you really don't want to just read a translated version, because you need to use Shakespeare's words in your literary analysis paper. So, and using No Fear Shakespeare will help you to understand how to read his language. So when you use it, don't just read the translations, read both, because that will really help you to understand it, okay? The other thing that helps is reading it out loud. I know that sounds weird. Or listening to it on Audible really helps as you read. So reading along and listening to it out loud helps as well. So there's just some tricks with Shakespearean language, because I know it's not the most fun thing in the world to try to read. But once you get comfortable reading it and you understand that it's not about every word, it's about the gist of the paragraph and what does it mean, once you become comfortable, it does become easier. So No Fear Shakespeare can help you to get a better understanding of what's happening. But again, make sure you are reading his words too, because those are the words you need to use. And you need to be citing the act and the scene when you quote it in his language, not a translation. So feel free to use that as a resource. Feel free to listen to it. Like I think I said last week, you can even find clips on YouTube. So do those things to help you better understand. And also read the discussions from your classmates, because they're going to find things that you didn't find and discuss things that you maybe didn't see. And that always helps to better understand the play as well, which is why we're doing the discussion forums. Okay, so please pay attention to the dates. Try to have initial posts done by Thursdays and have your follow-ups done by Sunday night. That way everyone's getting a chance to read what you have to say. And I will start kind of looking at the dates. So if they're late, they're going to lose some points. So make sure we're getting those in on time. And if you have any questions, you can always email me or give me a call during my office hours. I hope you guys have a great week. See you later.